Remember a few weeks back now when this particular story hit the sort of headlines, and it was all about, Harry celebrating his 40th birthday and what he was going to do and all that sort of stuff, and a spectacular party, lots of chums hanging out in Montecito. And what really happened was, when you think about it, it was quite a miserable celebration of a milestone birthday. Cut away from his family, really, only thing he got from them was a social media message, which is not much when you consider how close they were all used to be. And when you also think about it, in the state, of course, of Prince Harry, now surrounded by fake friends. Allegedly, his bodyguard is now his best friend. How did it come to this? And then this happened. Let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you today. Of course, in the very heart of a beautiful, glowing London. Look at that. Just delightful, isn't it? Yes, I know I often say this, but it's lovely to share flowers with you all. And I'm so glad you enjoy them as I do. It just cheers you up seeing something bright, doesn't it? And, growing as it, well, I know we should be. We should be bright, shouldn't we? You know what I'm saying? It's the sort of thing, isn't it? You look at it and think, oh, that's nice. That's why I do get a little bit fed up in winter, because everywhere seems really dark. I don't know if you find the same thing with the Christmas celebrations. When they take them down, everything just looks dark in the darkest months of the year. And you think, why couldn't you just leave them up or just change them a little bit, brighten the place up, Yes, it could be said, of course, that the same thing could be applied to none other than the former well-known as the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, celebrating 40 years and apparently, very happy in the life of his direction, all that sort of stuff. I'm not totally buying that, are you? Because he is a man who looks perpetually bored, henpecked, and of course pushed around by a woman who literally has engulfed his life at every single level, removing him from his family and creating sort of hostilities that were never there in the previous 30 odd years, but seemingly now at the forefront. Remember when she said, it's a shame that Harry lost his father too? No, he didn't. You pushed him out, Meghan. That's the problem. Now, what was fascinating was, if you remember, Harry apparently was going to have this lad's holiday, Everything was going to be marvellous and celebrate his 40th years. Close chums, Meghan wasn't invited. Just really going back to what he did before, enjoying himself. Well, that really didn't come off particularly well, according to a well-placed source. And as ever, allegedly, you see, Harry did put out the feelers for certain things, people who he did know and perhaps they'd like to meet up. But it all came back with problems, you see, because not only was it about whether Meghan would be there, and I kid you not, but also the stipulations that they would need to sign NDAs. And if you've got no trust at that point, where do you go from there? So many people did decline. Hence the reason what you see now is this very hastily put together world spin tour of Harry going to New York to do the Tonight horror thing, and then of course the piece which we knew about over here, the Well Child Awards, and suddenly South Africa. These were set up very quickly, very last minute, because I'm suspecting that Harry himself actually fancied getting a break away, perhaps from parental duties, who knows? Very difficult with two young children, his children. And then of course, some might suggest also the fractures with Meghan and the constant battles with the media, the demonic bosses, the Diva Duchess, that sort of stuff. Harry at least does look relatively happy wherever he is now flying solo. So you can understand. And while of course allegedly the party collapsed and the idea of trudging around somewhere and enjoying time alone with one-time chums who he's not really kept in touch with over the last 6 to 7 years, well, really, how can he expect to pick them up at a moment's notice suddenly because he's hit 40? It was a realization that hit him hard, and this is keeping him busy. When he goes back to California and the dull life of lawyers, living in Montecito, cut away again from any close family, those problems, the ones that keep coming back to haunt him, will engulf him once more, I'm sad to say. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.